Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Curb Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sportsball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
Is there anybody there?
Every team should have probably 3 or 4 guys that are super high paid and then fill in with a bunch of others, and everybody should know that. If you have a team full of 8 or 9 guys that are overpaid, then there's too many egos.
And now, in the epic conclusion of the conversation with Donnie Wise, we talk baseball collections, all the fun stuff. I have no idea why I'm talking like this, but I'm going to continue the whole intro until I give you the episode. Now make sure you listen to part 1 before you listen to part 2. And now, without further ado, I'll give you the episode.
Yep.
Okay, so what kind of... you and me had a bet going on, right? For our, because obviously everybody knows I'm a Guardians fan, you're a Yankees fan. We had a bet. And obviously your team won.
Yep.
And I paid, right away. You get a nice little 920 hat out of that one.
Yep.
Was your expectation of the season the way you thought it went, or were you a little bit surprised, or were was your team short of the expectation that you had for them?
The Yankees just did what the Yankees do. It's like they seem like they're going to dominate, and then they don't. They always have these bad stretches, and you're like, where did that come from? It's like they're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then they kind of claw their way back in, but it's not like they really, it never comes across as if they clawed their way in. It's like, oh, well, we were supposed to be here, but it's like they almost work only as hard as they have to get there.
Yeah. They play down to their
dominate.
competition a lot of the time.
And, I don't know what it is. I want to say sometimes the pitching is just still not there, but then we have some pretty decent pitching, but then you have guys like Cole that's supposed to be great and they don't do good.
I don't know what's up with him. He's a conundrum, man.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, it's back in the day they'd spend money like crazy on
that was the Steinbrenner
team, and they still wouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the most success they had was with homegrown talent, and that was the key. The Braves did it back in the early 90s. For the most part, they brought in a few pieces, but they had mostly a homegrown core. And it's like, that's the recipe. Stick to that. And those guys get so expensive, they don't keep them coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy. So I don't know. To me, they didn't perform as well as I thought they should have for what they had.
For what they still have, right?
For what they still have, yeah, exactly.
I mean, and you're right though. Like the Yankees, when Steinbrenner was there, they got to buy a lot of the players, right? That other people could not afford, and they were never able to deliver on that. When they had the homegrown talent, that's when, like my team, a lot of those players were like, they were rookie that year. Like, a lot of them debut in the major leagues this year. And it's, I appreciate it, because for me, I think my team over delivered on expectations, by winning the division and making it as far as they did. But yeah, I think, I think there's a shift. Hopefully there's a shift with the Yankees soon that where, all right, let's start developing our players instead of buying players, just like the Dodgers are doing, and all these, the Padres are doing now, right? Like they're just what picks? We don't need, F them picks, right?
But look where it gets them. I mean,
Yeah, it's
Those
true
guys were
though.
out of the playoffs. Look who pushed through. You guys, Houston. I mean, you had a lot of still core players. You didn't have a lot of just bought, hired
No,
guns
no,
basically.
no, not at all.
So,
Exactly.
so your future looks bright, at least for a few years. It's always cyclical.
That's how it is with a mid market team, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Like
have yeah.
Jerry said on your podcast about the Royals. I was listening to that one recently, and he said, about every 10 years we have a 2 or 3 year run.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
true.
yeah.
It's true. I mean, we had Francisco Lindor, and it got to the point where everyone knew that we weren't going to pay him, right? And it as much as it hurt, we knew that he was not going to be, whether it was by trade or by leaving. Everybody saw the writing on the wall. What didn't help was the owner saying, "You better enjoy him while we have him." I'm like, you just gave up without even trying,
Exactly. You're always going to have, I mean, all these teams have more money than they want to admit.
Of
They
course.
don't want to spend. Yeah, they don't want to spend the money that they've got. I mean, who would want to? But if you're in
True.
that game, you got to play it. You got to spend the money on the
Agree.
right guys. And so every team should have probably 3 or 4 guys that are super high paid, and then fill in with a bunch of others. And everybody should know that. If you have a team full of 8 or 9 guys that are overpaid, then there's too many egos. It's just not going to work.
Exactly. Too many chefs in the kitchen, and then it ends up being something that's not worth the time.
Exactly. So
I'm with you. Hopefully we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's still, now the good thing is the season is over, right? Like, I mean, now, but we're about to go into, December, January, February.
Right.
We're there.
Well, that's the beauty of baseball is everybody resets. Everybody goes into spring training with all that hope. It doesn't matter how bad your team finished. You got hope. You're a Browns fan. When this season ends and you get into next season, do you have that much hope like you do with baseball or not? Football, you don't. Basketball, you don't. I mean, if you're a Sacramento Kings fan, you can't start the season thinking, man, we're going to take the championship this year. It's just, you don't have that kind of hope. But you could be the Pittsburgh Pirates and say, this is our year, because anything can happen over 162 games. So, a couple guys get hot, you get the right guy. I mean,
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean,
100%.
That's what I love about baseball is every spring is like a new hope, and it doesn't matter how bad you were, because you can look back at the teams that have made it, like the Royals, the Guardians, teams that came out of nowhere any given year. There's always somebody.
Philly biked their way in. Paul's Phillies, right? I mean, they made it all the way, and no one was expecting that. Everybody was expecting the Dodgers to be the one that they were going to make to the World Series, and what happened to them out in the first round?
Oh yeah, I mean, you had even the Braves and the Mets were ahead of the Phillies in everybody's mind, and they're in the same division. I mean, they were considered third in their own division, and they made it to the World Series.
How insane is that, right?
Exactly. But that right there is what gives everybody hope come spring.
Yep.
And any team, because if they could do it, we can do it. This is our year, is what every team can say.
And that's what it is. Like February comes around, pitchers and catchers. And this year it's going to be even more fun because the World Baseball Classic is going to be happening now, right?
Yep, exactly. I'm glad they're getting back to that because I always love that.
Me too, man. I've been to a World Baseball Classic game when down in Puerto Rico. Me and my wife went, and let me tell you, it is electric. It is a lot of fun, and I recommend it for anybody. It's going to be in Miami and it's going to be in Arizona. You gotta go because, man, let me tell you, there it is. I think it gives you a little bit more oomph, right? When you're representing your country, right? USA, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Japan, all those big, teams are going to be there. And it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be super cool.
We had the Olympic team came to Columbia back in '96. They had 2 guys from Clemson. Chris Benson was pitching for them. And oh my gosh, I can't think of the other guy's name right now. But anyway, he was with Toronto Blue Jays. But they played Cuba here in Columbia down at the old Bombers Capital City Stadium. And that was a fun game to go to. I enjoyed that as much as any professional game ever. I mean, and here it is, because it was just this whole USA versus Cuba of all teams. Right? And I was like, wow, mid-90s. USA Cuba, that was awesome.
And Cuban teams, like a lot of those players they are it. Like, a lot of them should be major leaguers.
I wish I had a box score from that game. I wonder if I could find one. I'd have to look back and see what Cuban players were actually on that team, and if any of them, and it became something maybe, because a lot of those guys started coming over in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I don't know if any of those guys on that team did or not. I'd have to look back and see.
How cool would that be though, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got teams like, Colombia, Mexico, Great Britain, Canada, right? USA. I mean, it's going to be, I think this year is going to be next year, right? It's going to be a fun time for baseball. We got World Baseball Classic, February pitchers and catchers start showing up, minor league baseball. This is their second year under, Major League Baseball rule. We'll see how that goes. Some new changes are happening with the bases and the shift is going to be changing. So I really a pitch clock, right? Pitch clock is going to happen. So there's going to be some interesting things to get used to.
And the thing is, I don't know about you, but the pitch clock didn't bother me this year. I wasn't sure about it at first, but it's like it kept the pace going without feeling like it was speeding it up.
Yeah.
And, I know the big leaguers, their ego is going to get in the way. They're going to push back on it, but
of course,
quit adjusting your clubs all the time. Like, once you adjust them one time, like they're set. Like, I know it's all routine. It's like a golfer going through his pre-shot routine, but I mean, come on, man.
Mike Hargrove of the Indians. They used to call him the human rain delay, for God's sake.
It's like crazy. Come on, guys. Just step in there and play. I mean, come on.
There's the one rule that I thought was going to bother me, but it didn't. It was the runner on second in extra innings. I know a lot of people don't like it. And I know that I am in the minority of it.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, it didn't bother me.
Yeah. The thing about it is, it didn't really, I shouldn't say it bothered me. It's a little annoying, I guess, to some extent, but it's like, okay, I get it. Both teams have a chance with the runner there.
Yep.
But it's almost like, okay,
it gives a home team an advantage. It does.
Right. Yeah. Because you have the runner after they do, especially if you can stop the team. And
then all you need is to do is bunt over the player and things like that.
But the thing is, if both teams do it right, then it could keep going on forever with just that.
But look at during the playoffs, the Guardians and Tampa, they played 15 innings. So I see why they did it. And again, I know that I'm in the minority, and I was surprised at the fact that it didn't bother me as much as it did other people. So
I think if they just put the guy on first, I would feel better about it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, why not?
Because you still have the runner out there, but it's not like a stupid little blooper could score that run. I mean, they've got to work to get him over. And that's what it should be. It should be, okay, we'll give you a guy, but you got to put him on first, and you got to work to get him over. If you want to lay down a bunt, lay down the bunt, get him to second. Then you got to get a hit or another bunt. You got to move him around.
Yeah,
and a lot of teams don't play that small ball, which I always loved.
I love the small ball. I'm a huge fan. That's why I had so much fun this year with the Guardians, because they play small ball. They did, the bunting, all of that, right? They manufactured runs the right way, and they didn't rely on, like your team, on the long ball, because it can come bite you in the rear. And so
that aspect of the game these days is what irritates me. Is it's home run, strikeout, or nothing. It's
all or nothing.
It's all or nothing, and it's just so annoying. I would take 5 guys that can bat 300 over anybody that could hit 50 home runs.
100%. 100%.
It's just.
Absolutely.
You look back at every once in a while I see something pop up on Twitter about Tony Gwynn stat, and it's like, that dude was Superman. I mean, it was just insane,
so good.
The amount of hitting he could do and all that. And it's like
not just the amount of hitting that he could do, but in the way in which he did it, right?
Yeah.
Like the way how he would place the ball where he wanted it to go.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's an art form that has been missing a lot in Major League Baseball. That's why the shift is they're trying to bend the ship, because a lot of the players are not able to hit it the opposite way or anything like that, and they get mad.
Yeah.
Listen, learn to hit it the other way. They did it back in the 80s and 90s.
You're a professional ball player. You're paid to play ball. You should be able to adjust. That should be part of your job, is to adjust.
Donnie, you would think. Stop it. Stop making sense, my friend.
You remember guys that used to choke up like 6 inches on the bat? I mean, it'd be a knob like that down below. I mean, and then you just take your normal swing and it's going to go the other way because you're going to be behind it.
Yep, exactly. I like I said, I'm a fan of the small ball. I think it should come back. I think it should make a comeback because it makes the game so much more fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's like you can tell some of these managers are playing chess while the other ones are playing checkers. I was like, exactly. Oh yeah, I know what you guys are doing. I know which pitcher you're going to bring. So we're going to do this, right? We're going to move the pitcher, the runner over, and things like that. And it's I love watching baseball because of that. Like no other sport you're able to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of fun. All right, my friend. I think we're up to that point.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready as I'm going to be.
All right. So you know which one I'm going to ask you, right?
Yep.
You go to the game.
Yep.
Give me your food and drink of choice, my friend.
Well, the drink is always a local craft beer, something local, something
Good
on
man.
draft. And food is typically, I try to find something local as well. I mean, the go-to is the hot dog. I usually try to get a hot dog anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to find something local as well, something that might be unique for them. Maybe they got a special burger, maybe they got a special hot dog, maybe they got a special something else. So something like that. Always try to find local stuff.
I judge ballparks on how good their burgers or hot dogs are. That's how I judge their ballpark.
Yeah.
If you can make a good hot dog and a good burger, you're doing it right.
Well, it's like when we went to the Asheville tourist game, they had one of those little plastic helmets and it had tater tots, fried pepperoni, and mozzarella sticks.
That sounds delicious.
Who puts those three together? But they put them in. Stuff like that's just awesomely unique to me.
And I love tater tots. Oh my God, I love tater tots. Such a huge fan.
Tater tots over fries any day.
Oh God, yeah. Especially if they're done right. Crispy on the outside, and oh man, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. All right, pick one. Would you rather go bungee jumping or skydiving?
I've done skydiving, so I would probably pick that. I'm skeptical on the bungee jump.
The whole just elastic thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I could bungee jump with a parachute, okay, just in case something happens, I got that fail safe. Yeah. But no, I've done skydiving. I did that a couple years ago, and I actually still have one extra skydive left to do. I'm hoping to do that sometime next year.
Nice. I love it. Okay. What was your favorite school subject?
School subject was history. I loved history.
Same here.
Yeah, I didn't care much for math and science, but history, I loved history.
Yeah, science sucked at it. Math, not so good. History, yeah, that's what I was. And a lot of people. I had a teacher who got mad at me and scolded me because I got excited when World War history came around. I got excited because I like to learn about it. She's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be happy about things." I'm like, "No, I'm actually happy because you get to learn."
Exactly.
So she scolded me for that, and I never forgave her.
Wow.
All right. What was your very first job?
First job? My first real job was working at the car wash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was a car wash near our high school. And outside of like mowing lawns and stuff, but my first actually paycheck job was there. I had 2 friends that worked there, and they're like, "Man, you got to come over." And all we did was like wipe the cars down and vacuum them out and whatever. And it was funny because I didn't know how to drive a stick shift. And sometimes we had to pull the cars around. And I got in one time. I'm like, I can't move this car. I had to get somebody else to come do it. And they're like, "Man, you got to learn because you can't be holding up the line like that."
That's like, amazing. Okay. I guess I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm destroying somebody's transmission, but here I go.
I'm like, okay, I'll let the clutch out. We'll see what happens. And hopefully I won't jump too far forward.
There it is. Okay. If you could have any wild animal as a pet, which wild animal would it be?
I'd have to have a tiger. I mean, I'm a Clemson guy. I'd love to have a tiger.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see the connection. Clemson. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, my Browns quarterback is from Clemson now.
Yeah. Hey, let's hope he keeps
he pans out. That's a lot of money.
I think, I mean, he made some bad, I don't want to get into all that, but he made some bad mistakes. Hopefully he's learned from them, and hopefully he will move on and just play football.
100% agree with you, my friend. Okay. If you could work at a zoo, which animal would you work with?
Oh man, at the zoo. Oh man, I'd love to work with the monkeys at the zoo. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
They seem
Yeah,
like
I think
there's
I
just
would.
a fun bunch of, hanging out, partying, throwing fruit at each other. I think it'll be fun to hang out with the monkey.
Well, I mean, you see, like, back in the day, you'd see like Jane Goodall or one of them playing with the chimpanzees, and they'd just be like hugging on them and everything. I'm like, that would be kind of cool.
I want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I hang out with Jane?
exactly.
Okay. What was your favorite cereal as a kid?
Oh man. Favorite one as a kid is probably um wow, that's a tough question because I love so many different cereals. I would say probably honeycomb.
Wow. I haven't heard that one in a while, my friend.
Yeah, I liked honeycomb because the little holes would get full of milk, but it still
Yep.
had a little bit of crunch to it.
Yep.
It was kind of between that and probably like Captain Crunch or something.
Still love Captain
I still
Crunch.
love Captain Crunch.
Still
And
to
then
this
this
day, I
time,
will eat Captain Crunch.
holiday time, like, oh yeah. And around this time of year with the Halloween, the Boo Berry and the Frankenberry and
Yeah.
Count Chocula. I still have some of those in the pantry down there right now. I got to finish them up.
There's something about Captain Crunch, right? Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. Worst song ever.
um, any rap song in the last 10 years, in my opinion. um, I don't know. If I had to go back to like when I was younger, or probably not even that far back, probably "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred. That's a pretty bad one there. I mean, that's one of those earworms you just like, oh god, they didn't. That's gonna be in my head all day.
Can we please stop?
We please stop.
All right. Two more here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. If you could be any fictional character, who would it be?
Ooh, fictional character. I think it would probably be. I'm not going to go superhero because that's too easy. I would probably say somebody like Sherlock Holmes would be really cool.
Oh man,
I
huge
love
Sherlock
mystery
Holmes
stuff. I love
Yeah.
mystery stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just watched this movie recently. Murder on the Nile, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. You would love it.
Yeah.
If you like mystery and like, you like detective kind of thing,
Oh yeah.
watch it. I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Oh yeah. A lot of my early TV shows were stuff like that. Rockford Files. I mean, they're campy now, but like Kojak, Rockford Files, things like that were kind of detective-y kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So, all right, last one. You ready?
Uh-huh.
What is the most boring sport?
Ooh. Wow. I play golf, so I can't really say golf because it's not boring, it's relaxing. I'd say tennis. Tennis is boring.
And see, golf to play is not bad,
Yeah.
right? Golf to play is not bad. Golf to watch, not so good.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where it could be boring. I find it interesting to watch the shots themselves more so than anything else. But and I try to pick up tips if I can.
I get it.
But
I get
not that they ever help. I mean, I like tennis, but I can't sit and watch a tennis match.
Yeah, I'm
on
with you
TV
there.
at all.
It's just, yeah.
I'm not big on soccer much either, but
Oh,
I
see,
can
I
watch
am.
soccer at times. I'd love to go to some live soccer because I think like soccer and hockey are much better live.
I agree 100%.
But yeah, I want to get to some minor league hockey. By the way, that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna try to get to a checkers match. I want to go see the new Savannah Ghost Pirates too. That's
right. They're right there, right next, right by you.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Stingrays in Charleston, and we used to have that. Well, the Inferno we used to have here. I used to love going to those games. But yeah, I want to get to some minor league hockey this season.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it this year down to Charlotte to go see a checkers game because I got to get with my friend now. plays the organ there.
Oh,
So
yeah. I just listened to that one the other day too. Yeah, I was like, yeah,
he does
I'd like
both
to check him out.
the Kannapolis Cannonballers and the Checkers. I mean, how cool is
Yeah.
that, right?
Well, let me know when you go. Maybe we can connect and both go to a Checkers game.
I love it. I think we
That
should.
would be
We
awesome.
should. Donnie, thank you so much for doing this, dude. Obviously, every time we get together, we have a lot of fun. Where can people find you on the socials, my friend?
Mine on Twitter and Instagram are the same at WiseDRJR. That's pretty much where I'm at. Obviously I'm very active now on the Twitter stuff daily. Instagram, not so much, but I know a lot of people are switching over a little bit more to Instagram, and I'll probably put a little bit more baseball stuff on there. I normally just do, regular family stuff on Instagram. So
That's what I'm
we'll see.
doing. I'm starting to do a little bit more Instagram, see how it goes. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. You get to do different things, right? Little videos and pictures and things like that.
Yeah, you can do a little bit more on there. You can put more pictures on there than just the 4, stuff like
Yep.
that. I mean, there's some things that I wish Twitter was a little bit more like Instagram from that standpoint. Functionality, editing, being able to edit something if you mistype a word.
Oh, for real, right? Oh my
There's
God.
so
How
many that I've,
annoying is that?
I've so many I've tweeted, and within 10 seconds I delete it and redo it just because I typed something stupidly wrong.
Right. The worst part is when you don't notice that you have done that you made a mistake, and then you go back and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So, but obviously you already know I'm going to put everything on the notes, but we already talked to each other on social media, and we'll keep in touch, my friend.
Sounds good. Glad to do it.
Thanks, my friend.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode with Donnie. Now, listen, if you did not come away with liking Donnie even that much more, I don't know what to tell you, my friend, because Donnie is legit one of the best and most fun people out there. So make sure you guys are following him on Instagram and on Twitter. I have the links for both of them there. And then also, if you are so kind, please follow the podcast. I'm on Twitter and on Instagram mostly. I also put the links to that. Give the podcast 5 stars. That way I go up on the rankings. But before I go, I wanted to make sure that I give you the joke of the episode, and here it is. What is the difference between Yankee fans and dentists? One roots for the Yanks and the other yanks for the roots. All right. I'll see myself out. And until then, guys, keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTommaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at curvedbrimmedia.com.